Hi y'all, it's Jess. I wanted to film this video yesterday actually, and there were a lot of interruptions, so I had to scrap it like 17 minutes in. But I'm back and ready to film this. So this video I'm going to dedicate to one of my best friends, Izzy. She really encouraged me to put my makeup routine out there. So this one's for you, Izzy. Thanks for the suggestion. To start, before I, started filming, I washed my face and my beauty blenders. That's a really important step. And I primed my eyelids with MAC Paint Pot in the shade Soft Ochre. So I actually started using MAC Paint Pot probably in September, I think, and I didn't really care for it then. It's grown on me. As you can see, it's kind of yellow, not quite orange, but a little bit on my eyelids, so it's not exactly what I would pick for a great shade match for me, but it's the lightest they have, so what are you gonna do? And I don't want to waste product, so I've just been living with it. But it has grown on me. I don't mind it so much now. But anyway, let's get into the video. So today I'm going to be using the Lorac Unzipped Eyeshadow palette, and it looks like this. It's nice, pretty rose gold tones. I really like this one. I started using it around Valentine's Day, and I've just been enjoying it since. So I'm going to go in with my Sigma E38. This is a diffuse crease brush, and it's just kind of that rounded tip. So I'm just gonna lightly dip into the shade Unconditional here, because that's pretty much the closest thing this palette has to a transitional shade. So I'm just gonna start by making windshield wiper motions in my crease. And I really love this eyeshadow palette because I feel like the shades just blend so beautifully. Gonna add a little bit more. I dipped back into my pan. And make sure you get that outer V area as well. And I'm just gonna kind of blend upward, if you can see that. Not totally onto my brow bone, but kind of just beneath that. And now I'm gonna do the other eye. So once those are about even, you're just gonna wipe off your brush. I have a little towel sitting in my lap. And next we're going to go into the shade Undercover. It's that white one here, or pretty close to white, and you're just gonna pop this right underneath your eyebrow. Don't worry about it if you get it into your eyebrow like I just did. It's eyeshadow, so it wipes away. Okay, and wipe off your brush a little bit, and now I didn't dip this into any eyeshadow. I'm just gonna kind of go over the edges in between the two. If I can avoid getting my hair in my eye. Okay, so next we're going to go into this shade Unbridled. It's the darkest matte shade in the palette. And really focus this on that outer V. You don't want to drag it too far into your crease. Just kind of focused right in that area. And then you can blend it. And now again, just blend over all of it. Like so. Okay, so now you're done with all the crease work. I'm going to take this Luxie 246 Precision Crease Brush, and it's really just a flat brush, and this is the one that I have decided to ruin with eyeshadow primer. I really only use eyeshadow primer on my lids with the exception of my MAC Paint Pot. when I've used other eyeshadow primers on my lids, I just feel that it ends up getting very, like, it kind of ruins the matte shades when you put them on the eyelid. I feel like it makes it really dark and sticky and doesn't blend well. So you're just gonna put a little dab, about that much, and put this, spread this everywhere you want your shimmery eyeshadow. I'm a big fan of shimmers. I know some people don't really like shimmery looks, and to each their own. I'm a big shimmer gal. So add a little bit more. And you're not putting this on your whole eyelid, really just that first 75%. Same thing with the other eye. So this is almost like a cut crease, but I don't actually like to use foundation for that, just because I feel like the lines end up being really harsh between your crease and the cut, and I feel like maybe it's just my brand of foundation, but the eyeshadow never sticks super well to it, so I prefer to do it, if you're gonna do it, with eyeshadow primer. And this one's actually the Lorac eyeshadow primer that came with this palette. Otherwise, I really like the Urban Decay primer potion. But if I'm using Lorac shadow, then I'm gonna use the primer that came with the palette because it's formulated for it, you know what I mean? So next we're going to dip into the shade Unbelievable. It's this really pretty rose gold shade. And you're not bringing this all the way into the inner corner. You're gonna start a little bit outside of it and focus that. And you'll kind of end this one around where you ended the eyeshadow primer. Next, you're going to dip into the shade Unreal, and that's that one below the Unbelievable. And this one is going to be your highlight shade for your inner corner. Lastly, I'm going to dip into the shade Untamed in the bottom right and put this on your outer corner just a little bit and just kind of dab it in and blend that line a little bit. So next, I'm going in with my Luxie 516 Duo Fiber Brush, and the only thing I use this brush for is to wipe off excess eyeshadow and powder on my face. That's it. Don't know what it's supposed to be used for, but that's what I use it for. So next is time for the rest of your face. So I like to use my Kypris Antioxidant Quench and Glow Serum as my primer for my foundation. It's up to you what you use. I do have oily skin, but I really like to look glowy, so consequently I just carry little oil blotting sheets around with me. It's a fun time. And you'll notice it gets kind of tacky after a while. So I actually got this in a BoxyCharm. That is one thing I like about BoxyCharm. I'm a little bit annoyed with them because they raised their prices recently. Or I guess it happened in like September or November, but I pay for the yearly subscription all at once, so I don't get billed until May, and well, it's May, so I've noticed it's gone up. This is the third year that I'll be paying for them, and I think when I first started it was coming out to me paying for like about $19 a month, and now it's up to $25. So I've been a little bit annoyed with that, but we'll see. If I keep liking the products that they send me, then I'll probably still pay for it, but it is irritating when it's like, I just want it to be a set cost. So this is my green concealer stick. This one's from Maybelline. I have a lot of red undertones in my face, as you can see, so I just put this all over to cancel out all the redness in my skin. And I put it on my bags too, because even though those are purple and I know the correction shade is technically yellow, meh. So next I'm going to go in with my foundation. And I actually blend too, because I like to pretend that I'm tanner than I actually am. So I go in with my Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear in the shade 090 Ivory Neutral, which is the lightest shade that they have. And it's great. It's a little bit too sheer for me in the summer months. In the winter it works great because I live in a very cold state, so I get even paler than I am now. So I go in with that one, and then I go in with my Bare Minerals Bare Pro in the shade Fair 01. This one's a little bit too dark for me, but you know, that's why I mix them. So I'm just gonna squirt about a pump and a half of each on my palette. And I really like to look super shimmery. I like my glitter. So I actually go in with the Cover FX glitter drops, and I don't know what shade this is. It's the gold one. You know, let's call it a day. And I put the very smallest dot onto my foundation. Like, very small. A little goes a long way with this. So it's not even like a full, you know, you don't need to squeeze it much. Like that little speck in there that's the glitter drops. And I take the end of this and I just swirl it all around to make sure it's mixed thoroughly. We want diffuse glitter drops. And like I said, I don't like to waste products, so I just do that. It looks silly on camera, but that's how I do my makeup, folks. So, go in with my beauty blender. This one is from Real Techniques, and I really only use the one end of this. But yeah, so you'll dab it in there. It should be damp because you washed it before you started, right? And we're just gonna dab that all over. And I actually have another beauty blender, and this one is from, I believe, Eco Tools. I think I got them both at Ulta, so just go to Ulta. You should be able to find them. And I stamp it. That's how I get my nice little clean cut line there. I just stamp it. I've actually had a lot of people ask me how I do that. That's how. And then you just blend, blend, blend. So, I'm gonna go in with, if I can find it, just a little bit more of my green concealer stick here. And I'm going to, let's see, mix a couple. This one's the ColourPop No Filter, and this is Fair 02. And this one's basically white. And then this one's the Pretty Vulgar brand, and it's in the shade 305H, or no, 60, Little White Lies. So one's a little too light and one's a little too dark, and I just kind of hope it all works out. So, as you can see, it's not perfect, but, you know, no one's really going to be focusing on it. That's just what I tell myself to make myself feel better. So, next I'm going to do my eyebrows. So, I like to brush these up with a little spoolie. It can be any little spoolie. I think I got this one in a drugstore when I was like 17. So, quite some time ago. And I'm going to go in with this one. And to be honest, I've rubbed all the label off. I believe it's from Maybelline. Let's see if I have another one on my desk here. Yeah, so it's Maybelline Brow Define and Fill Duo in the shade Blonde. So I'll use the newer one that I have. And this one's the powder end. Technically, pretty sure you're supposed to do this one second, but I like to do it first. So, and I just kind of lightly brush that in. Okay, and the other end is this little pencil end. And now you're gonna take your spoolie again and you're going to brush through your eyebrow. And I actually used to pretty much end my brow routine here, which I know some of you are probably screaming as I say that now, but I'm just gonna fill in a few places that I missed. Okay, but now I actually have been setting my brows just because I feel like when I put my scrubs on over my head, it tends to brush up against my face. I try not to, but we don't want to have to redo our brows, do we? So I like to set my brows with the 24-hour brow setter by Benefit. And you pretty much just comb through them. Then I'm going to take that spoolie and you're not going to brush through them. You're just going to kind of go over the top and gently sort of lay those hairs down. And that's my brow routine right there, ladies and gents. Okay, I had like a weird fallout. Okay. So next, we're going to finish off our eyeshadow and do the bottom lash line. So I like to take this, I think I've also rubbed this one's from Alamar Cosmetics. I know that, I got it in my BoxyCharm. Really just any flat angled brush. It's just flat. I guess there's really no angle other than straight to it, but you know. And I'm going to dip into that shade Unconditional again. And I'm just gonna lightly line my waterline with that. Well, not like in your eye, but your lash line, your bottom lash line. And I only do it up to where my lashes stop, because we got other plans for the inner corner. Then I dip into that shade Unbridled, that dark shade, and I really just do it on the corner of this brush, because you don't need that much, it's just for the corner. Okay, and then I take a rounded, this one's the mini flat angled. I think I have like a flat mini round. This'll do, it's fine. And I really just take that and brush it out. And you're really just doing that so it's not too harsh. I know some people really like the thick look of eyeshadow on the lower line, but I don't for my eye shape. I just don't. So really personal preference. You're gonna go back in with that flat skinny brush, and I'm going to dip into the shade Unbelievable here. And we're gonna focus this right there, just on the bottom. And last, I'm going to go in with my shader lid E56, which I think I forgot to say earlier when I was doing this on my upper lid, but that's what it is. And I'm just gonna lightly dip into that shade Unreal and put that right there on the inner corner. And now that is done. Next, we're going to do our bronzer and our blush. So I'm using the Wander Beauty Chip for 2 Blush and Bronzer Duo palette, which I got in a BoxyCharm. I didn't realize how much of my makeup collection actually became BoxyCharm products until pretty recently. Like when I look at my desk, I'm like, wow, a lot of this came from BoxyCharm. So there are only two shades in here, so we're gonna go into the bronzer first. And it's not Costa Rica, but it's fine. And you're gonna pop that kind of right below your cheekbone. I like to give the illusion that I've seen the sun in the last 6 months. I put this all up and kind of around my face. And you can put it on your jawline if you really want to. I generally don't, just because who am I really fooling? But up to you. And then I'm gonna go in with the blush and just kind of hit the apples of my cheeks. I always say start lightly with blush and bronzer because you can always, and really the same thing goes with eyeshadow too, you can always dip back into the pan for more, but once it's on there, it's kind of tough to undo. So my long hair is getting everywhere. Okay, so next, oh, and that brush is a multitasking powder brush that it's just a big fluffy brush, whatever you gotta work. And then next I'm going in with my Steve Laurant Jelly Highlighter in the shade Cotton Candy. And I'm going in with my tapered highlighting brush that is from the brand Luxie 522. And I'm just gonna lightly dip that in there and highlight the tops of my cheekbones. And right above my eyebrow and my other eyebrow. And right down the tip of my nose, or the bridge of my nose, and the tip of my nose. I want no nose. No, I'm just kidding. I like my nose. And I like to put a little bit on my Cupid's bow as well. So next we're going to go in with mascara to finish everything off. I'm using the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. And I like to look kind of down into a mirror when I put my mascara on. I just feel like it helps not run my brush into the top of my brow bone and ruin all my hard work. And it lends itself to a nice little. Next, I'm going to go in with the mascara Bad Gal Bang from Benefit Cosmetics. And I'm just going to do the same thing. Your eyelashes should still be slightly wet. You don't want to do this on dry lashes. And those are my upper lashes. And I'm just gonna go in with the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara on my bottom lashes. And next I'm just going to take, it's this I'm going to butcher this name, but Ciate, London. It's spelled like that. And it's this Everyday Vacay Coconut Setting Powder, which I was kind of leery of whenever I first got it, and I actually like it. It does smell very pleasant and a little coconut-y in a nice way. I feel like I'm kind of hit or miss with coconut products. Like, I either like them or I hate them. There's no in between. And I'm just gonna put that under there because I feel like I get a lot of transfer otherwise on that bottom lash line onto my foundation, especially since I did start using that glow serum. And I'm just gonna kind of pack that all over, and anywhere that I get especially oily, which is in my T-zone and then in my nostrils. Everything's falling, I'm sorry. And all over my chin. And then once that's all good, I take that brush that I said I only use for wiping white powder, same deal, and I just wipe it all off. And last but not least, I like to just top it off with a little bit of lip gloss. So this is my Mary Kay Nourishine Plus Lip Gloss in the shade Cafe au Lait. And my old roommate is a Mary Kay consultant, so that's how I have this. And there you go. So that is my makeup routine, pretty much on the daily. I've been using that same eyeshadow palette for a couple months now, maybe 3, so 2-3 months now. I usually switch them out because I get bored, but anyway, so that's my makeup routine. Thank you for joining me, and everyone have a wonderful day. If you liked this video, then give it a like down below. Give it a like. Okay, thank y'all and have a good day.